Welcome to Spidell's Federal Tax Minute. I'm your host, Catherine Zidane. This week we're talking about how taxpayers can know when a call from a private collection agency is legitimate. Sign up for Spidell's quarterly federal tax update webinar, and you'll get reliable and pertinent updates on trending tax topics. Get details on this subscription webinar series and register for a full year of updates or just a single session at spidell.com under webinars. Taxpayers who owe delinquent tax to the IRS may receive a call from a private collection agency that has been assigned to work on the taxpayer's case on behalf of the IRS. However, with the prevalence of scammers and identity thieves posing as the IRS, it's important to be able to tell the difference between a scam and a legit phone call from a collection agency. The IRS hires private collection agencies to collect certain inactive tax receivables, which are tax debts that IRS employees are not actively working to collect. Generally, these tax debts are assigned to collection agencies when the IRS lacks the resources to pursue the debt or couldn't locate the taxpayer. Neither the taxpayer nor their representative interacted with the IRS on the account in over a year, and the assessment is more than 2 years old and the account hasn't been assigned to an IRS employee for collection. When the IRS assigns a taxpayer's account to a private collection agency, one of these three agencies will contact the taxpayer on the IRS's behalf: CBE Group, Coast Professional, and Conserve. First, the taxpayer will receive Notice CP40 from the IRS to notify the taxpayer that their account is being assigned to a private collection agency. Next, the agency will send the taxpayer a letter. They may also call the taxpayer on behalf of the IRS. The letters from both the IRS and the private collection agency will contain a taxpayer authentication number, which will help the taxpayer verify that any calls from the agency are legitimate. The agency will also ask the taxpayer a series of questions to make sure they're talking to the correct person. If the taxpayer receives a call from anyone other than the private collection agency assigned to the taxpayer, or if the caller does not have the taxpayer authentication number, it's likely a scam. The taxpayer will not be asked to pay an individual or a private collection agency directly, nor will the taxpayer be asked to pay with a gift card or prepaid debit card, cryptocurrency, or a wire transfer, all which are part of common scams. Any payment should be made directly to the IRS. The private collection agency can help the taxpayer set up a payment arrangement if the taxpayer can pay their tax debt in full within 7 years or before the collection expiration date. If the taxpayer needs an installment agreement that lasts longer than 7 years, the account will be returned to the IRS. The account will also be sent back to the IRS if the taxpayer wants to make an offer in compromise, wants to set up a partial payment installment agreement, or requests in writing to work with the IRS instead of the agency to resolve their debt. Attend Spidell's Federal Tax Update webinar and be prepared for the upcoming filing season. This 8-hour course will cover everything that happened during the year, and you can see a list of topics covered and get registered at spidell.com under webinars. That's all for this week. Join us next time for another episode of Spidell's Federal Tax Minute.